Welcome everyone. It's great to have you here. Let's start with a curious question. Imagine you receive a new email. Within milliseconds, Gmail decides whether it's spam or not spam. How? When you unlock your phone using Face ID, how does it decide is this really you? When a hospital AI analyzes an X-ray, how does it decide cancer or no cancer? These are not number prediction problems. They are decision-making problems. Today's algorithm is designed exactly for this. It's called logistic regression. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand what logistic regression is, why linear regression fails, sigmoid function, probability and decision boundary, cost function and gradient descent, Python implementation, real-world projects, and interview questions. Let's dive in. Linear regression predicts house price, salary, sales, temperature. Output 25.7, 98.2, 154.3. Continuous values. Can we use linear regression to predict spam or not spam? Let's look at this dataset. Hours studied versus past. Suppose linear regression predicts 1.8, minus 0.5, 2.3, 1.6. Can probability be 1.8? No. Can probability be minus 0.5? Impossible. Linear regression has no limit. We need an algorithm that always predicts between 0 and 1. Logistic regression is a supervised machine learning classification algorithm used to predict the probability that an input belongs to a particular class. Instead of predicting numbers, it predicts probability. Then converts probability into yes or no. Let's look at some real-world applications: spam detection, email classification, disease prediction, loan approval, credit card fraud, customer churn, sentiment analysis, fake news detection, employee attrition, admission prediction. Let's look at a concrete example, an email spam dataset. We have features like email length and whether it contains an offer, mapping to our target label, spam, represented as 1 or 0. In binary classification, our output is restricted to only 2 categories. We define class 0 as not spam and class 1 as spam. Instead of directly outputting a hard 0 or 1, the model first predicts a continuous probability. For example, a value of 0.93 means there is a 93% chance the email is spam. How do we convert any real-valued number from our linear equation into a probability? We use the sigmoid function, which squashes any input value into an output strictly between 0 and 1. Let's break down the sigmoid formula. A large negative input yields a probability near 0. An input of exactly 0 gives us 0.5, and a large positive input approaches 1, creating our classic S-shaped curve. How do we turn a continuous probability into a hard yes or no? We use a decision boundary. By default, a threshold of 0.5 means anything 0.5 or above is spam, and below is not spam. But we can change this threshold. For critical medical diagnoses, we might set it to 0.9 to be absolutely sure before predicting healthy. For fraud detection, 0.7 balances caution, while marketing might use 0.4 to cast a wider net. In the real world, we rarely predict outcomes using just one variable. In multiple logistic regression, we look at an entire dataset. To predict if a loan is approved, we analyze age, income, credit score, and loan amount simultaneously, combining all these features into a single decision. Let's look at how the math flows. First, we take our input features and calculate a weighted sum, just like in linear regression. Next, we pass this linear combination through the sigmoid function. This squashes the value into a probability between 0 and 1, which finally gives us a class prediction. Why can't we just use mean squared error like we did in linear regression? If we apply MSE to the nonlinear sigmoid function, we get a wavy, non-convex cost function with many local minima. Gradient descent would get stuck. To solve this, we introduce log loss, also known as cross-entropy loss, which guarantees a smooth, convex curve. Here is the cross-entropy loss formula. It looks intimidating, but it's elegant. When the actual label y is 1, the second term becomes 0, leaving only log of our prediction. If the actual label y is 0, the first term disappears, leaving log of 1 minus our prediction. This penalizes confident wrong answers with near-infinite loss. Instead of minimizing distance, logistic regression maximizes likelihood. Think of a simple analogy, a detective finding the most likely suspect based on the evidence. To optimize the model, we initialize weights, make a prediction, calculate the loss, update weights, and repeat. We will also explain the learning rate. The complete training pipeline goes from collect data to cleaning, encoding, scaling, train test split, train, predict probability, classification, and finally evaluation. We split our data into 80% for training and 20% for testing. We will explain random state, stratified split, and why class balance matters. We evaluate using accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, specificity, ROC curve, and AUC. We will explain when each metric is important using a medical example, spam example, and fraud example. To evaluate our classification model, we use a confusion matrix. Let's break down the 4 quadrants using our spam dataset. True positive means we correctly flagged spam. False positive is a false alarm, flagging a safe email as spam. True negative is correctly letting safe mail through, and false negative is missing a spam email entirely. Before writing our code, let's assemble our Python toolkit. We'll use NumPy for numerical operations, Pandas for data manipulation, Matplotlib and Seaborn for visualization, and scikit-learn to build and evaluate a logistic regression model. First, we import Pandas and load our spam dataset using read_csv. Printing the head of the data frame lets us inspect the initial rows, showing our features alongside the target, spam, column where 1 represents spam and 0 represents safe email. Next, we split our data. We separate our features X from our target label Y. Then, we use train_test_split. The test_size parameter of 0.2 reserves 20% of our data for testing, while random_state ensures our split is reproducible every time we run the code. Finally, we import logistic regression from scikit-learn's linear model module and instantiate our model. The default constructor sets up our solver and regularization parameters, preparing our model to learn the optimal decision boundary from our training data. Let's dive into the heart of logistic regression. We start by training our model using the fit method on our training data. After training, we can use the predict method to make predictions on new data. To get a better understanding of the model's confidence in its predictions, we can use the predict_proba method. To visualize how our logistic regression model makes decisions, we can plot the decision boundary. Logistic regression has several advantages that make it a popular choice for binary classification tasks. Linear decision boundary. Sensitive to outliers. Needs feature engineering. Not suitable for highly complex data. Spam detection. Disease prediction. Loan approval. Customer churn. Fraud detection. Click prediction. Insurance claim approval. Employee attrition. Difference between linear and logistic regression. Why sigmoid? Why cross entropy? Why not MSE? Binary versus multiclass logistic regression. What is odds? What is log odds? What is decision boundary? How is threshold chosen? Let's compare linear and logistic regression. Linear regression is used for regression problems to output a continuous number, like predicting a house price. Its algorithm uses a straight line formula y equals mx plus c, evaluated by mean squared error, and it has no probability or decision boundaries. Logistic regression, on the other hand, is used for classification problems to output a probability between 0 and 1, like spam detection. It uses a sigmoid curve formula, evaluated by log loss, and gives us clear class predictions by using a decision boundary. Remember the question we started with. How does Gmail know an email is spam? The answer is, it doesn't simply guess. It analyzes features like keywords, sender reputation, links, attachments, and writing patterns. Logistic regression combines these features, converts them into a probability using the sigmoid function, and then decides whether the email is spam or not spam based on a threshold. Welcome to the next lesson in our machine learning series. Today, we are diving into a powerful algorithm that can predict binary outcomes like yes or no, spam or not spam, cancer or healthy. This curiosity naturally introduces us to logistic regression. Logistic regression is a statistical method used to predict binary outcomes. It's based on the logistic function, which maps any real-valued number into a value between 0 and 1, representing the probability of an event occurring. The logistic function is given by the formula P kiss smiley is equal to 1 plus E, Z, where Z is equal to WT asterisk X plus B. Here, W are the weights, X is the input feature vector, and B is the bias term. Here's a simple implementation of logistic regression in Python using the scikit-learn library. Let's apply logistic regression to a real-world problem, spam detection. We'll use the SMS spam collection dataset, which contains labeled messages as spam or ham. Logistic regression is a versatile algorithm with several advantages, but it also has some limitations. Here are some common interview questions and their pros and cons. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown of logistic regression helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video on decision trees. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. See you in the next one.